Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd come outside and just get a bit of fresh air and record a quick video for you because of course Virgo season is imminent, and by the time you're watching this we may already be in Virgo season. And some of you may have already watched the astrology report I put on my YouTube channel that was relating to Virgo season, particularly talking about the new moons, because we have 2 new moons in Virgo during Virgo season, and also we have Pisces full moon in the middle. And recognizing those new moons coming up, we've got one at 0 degrees and then the other one at 29 degrees. So it's definitely about a cycle within a cycle. We've got this pocket portal with eclipses because the full moon in Pisces will come with an eclipse, and the second new moon in Virgo will also come with an eclipse, and that one will be just before we enter Libra season and we have the equinox. So the energy is building, the momentum is building here. During this time as well, during Virgo season, we will also have Saturn retrograding back into the sign of Pisces, and that's happening on the 1st of September. So he is going to be reminding us, are we in alignment with our spiritual truth? Are we in alignment with our spiritual integrity? So it's very important for us to recognize that. I reflected on this earlier as I was recording a post for social media, and very interesting because there was this sign by means of an old diary that I'd kept hold of, and it opened on the page that related to when Saturn actually ingressed into Pisces back in March 2023, on the 7th of March 2023. And at that time we had a full moon in Virgo, so we were in Pisces season at that point, and we had a full moon in Virgo, and I believe that one came with an eclipse as well. And if I remember correctly, that one came 55 minutes prior to Saturn making his entrance. And I did an astrology report at the time, so it will be available on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. But essentially, it was almost like the full moon, because that can illuminate things for us, entered the interrogation room, put the spotlight on and said, okay, we've got 55 minutes to get a bit of a grip of this, because Saturn's going to be in here soon, and he's then going to be testing us in terms of our spiritual truth. And certainly since that point there's been a lot, but there's been a lot of other things going on in the astrology as well. Of course, we know it's the bigger picture. Now I digressed on that a bit because Saturn is definitely a key player with all of this, and him moving back into Pisces during Virgo season will happen on the 1st of September, certainly for us in the UK, and that will be approximately a week before the full moon eclipse in Pisces. So definitely big energy going on, and we really do need to also be using our discernment at this time. It's very important. That also comes from spiritual truth, spiritual integrity, getting in touch with our inner compass, using that discernment, especially with a lot that's going on out there. We need to rely on ourselves and our own inner compass to direct us accordingly. Now back to the sun ingressing into Virgo, which marks the start of Virgo season. For us in the UK, this is happening later today as I'm recording this at 21:34 on the 22nd of August. Apply your own time zones as appropriate, because I'm referring to this as British summertime. 9 hours and 32 minutes after the sun ingresses into Virgo, we will have the first new moon in Virgo. So there is a yod in the chart at the point of the sun's ingress, and that will remain there when we have the new moon. And the focus of this yod is the sun. That's the apex where the yod is pointing to. So there is focus on soul alignment. And at the base of this yod, we have Pluto in Aquarius, currently retrograde, and Saturn and Neptune, who are both retrograde and in a conjunction. So the soul alignment is definitely relating to what's coming up. The veil's been lifting. What have we become aware of? What's been revealed to us? How have we adapted to that in our own circumstances in terms of learning lessons, detaching from cycles that we've needed to, trusting our intuition more, and the underpinning transformation that's been a part of that as well. But soul alignment particularly, and in Virgo, needing to get things in order from a soul perspective. And that's of course going to help us when Saturn retrogrades back into Pisces, because he's going to be wanting to know that we're in alignment with our soul's truth. So there's that going on. And I will briefly mention, with the first new moon in Virgo that's happening 9 hours and 32 minutes after the sun ingresses into Virgo, marking the start of Virgo season, that first new moon will still have that yod. There's also a grand air trine, and that's between Mars in Libra, Pallas in Aquarius, that's an asteroid, and also the midheaven of the chart, which is showing as Gemini. So it's a grand air trine. The cardinal energy there is Libra, so Mars in Libra. Not an ideal place for Mars because he rules Aries, so it's the opposite sign. But of course, any action that we're wanting to take has got to be coming from a place of balance and fairness and that desire for reciprocity and justice. He is supported by Pallas in this, and I say that because Pallas also represents that warrior type energy. And in Aquarius, of course, we think of the new reality we're moving into, how we're innovating and changing things in our reality. And she's very good at reminding us to strategize and plan. So this is about sort of divinely guided strategic action that we need to take. And let's not forget the midheaven of the chart in Gemini. And okay, I'm looking at the chart as an astrological event, but it highlighted itself to me. And for me, intuitively, it felt like it was saying, okay, we need to be open here to how we do show up and how others see us in terms of our social status. And the perception we might have of how we have always been seen might be different. And it's recognizing that through the strategic action that we're taking, if it's in alignment with our soul's truth and in alignment with this new reality, of course, that is going to present a different version to others, but the true version. So the courage that we've acquired during Leo season is very much needed to be brought forward into Virgo season, because we need to show up. We need to show ourselves as that true, authentic soul expression. So there's lots more going on, of course, other than just the Yod and certainly that air trine in the new moon chart. If you want to find out more, check out my other video, which is available on Goddess of Neptune YouTube channel, where I go into a bit more detail about the charts and also looking at where that's happening in the UK's chart as well, just to give some context with the house system. So I hope you're well. I wish you all the best for Virgo season. Get aligned with your soul's truth. Get things cleaned up and in order in accordance with what you want for your life, and recognize that intuition and discernment is key at this time. Sending you all the best. I'll see you on the next video.